How's everybody doing? Welcome back to another episode of God Concept Podcast. I'm feeling good this Sunday morning, Sunday the 3rd of August. I'm feeling real good, man. Just chilling. Crazy ass little setup I just came up with. I stole these Jenga blocks from on the other side of the Macquarie building. I ain't steal them, I just borrowed them. Just borrowed them. Just took them from one side of the building to the next. But yeah, man, I hope everybody's doing well this morning. You're in a good space. You just up, you feeling positive, you self motivated at whatever it is you trying to do, man. Getting at that grind, getting at that daily cup of joe. You know what I mean? For you and your life, for you and your loved ones, man. I don't got a title for the episode yet. I always say that shit, but I just, bear with me. I do these episodes based upon the shit that I go through in my week or in my, you know what I mean? And I'm just taking all that in. You know what I mean? The thoughts that I had yesterday aren't the thoughts that I'm having this morning. So it's always a constant revolving door of, shit. You know, I'm gonna tell you, um, I walked alone a lot of my life. A lot of my life I walked alone. And to be honest with you, like I always felt like I was a loner, man. Like I always just felt like, I didn't really connect with even family, so-called friends, this and that. You know what I mean? Um, I was just always a solo, you know what I mean? That type of person. You know, you could feel that shit. You could feel it when somebody's in your corner, when they're not, when somebody, you know what I mean? I'm not going on a bad note this morning. All I'm saying is, you know, I'm having a good morning, a good day, right? But also, I do recognize that a lot of things that I went through, like that I'm going through currently, I'm alone. I'm alone going through all this. I'm alone going through all this. You know what I mean? I don't have nobody holding my hand through anything I'm going through in life. You know what I mean? I don't have anybody um, there to tell me everything's gonna be okay. A lot of time I just lots of times I find myself in complete isolation with what I'm going through. Um, you know, everybody should have somebody to talk to understand, to just go through the motions with. Um, Never really had that person, you know. This is this is like I think about this sometimes, and I don't like opening up like this, you know what I mean? Because I get very emotional. You all know that, you know what I mean, from watching a podcast, whatever. Um, I get very emotional, and man, I just never had nobody to really like be there, and it's crazy because it seemed like I'm always the one that's there helping somebody else through their situation and what they're going through in their life. But I never really had anybody to say, hey, you know what I mean? What you going through? You know what I mean? And there's so many examples, like even, you know, through my grandmother's passing and everything, nobody was really there. It was like a push. It was like a passing and a push. When I went through a lot of shit, even with my wife, you know what I mean, and my personal life with my children and things like I never really and when I did have somebody there to kick it with, it wasn't really like we was talking about the things that need to be talked about, the things that I need dealing with. It was more so, oh, let's get high and do this, or you know what I mean? Or wind up me thinking about their shit to take and it takes my mind off of what I'm dealing with. never really got around to actually talking about or fixing my own issues, but we always got around to fixing and talking about their issues. You know what I mean? Their issues, their you know what I mean? It's like, when is it my turn? You know what I mean? When is it my turn to talk? You know, when is it my turn to have some discourse about what I'm going through? You know, be talking to somebody and it'll start off like a regular conversation, but people don't know how to have conversations anymore. People don't know how to have conversations of concern and discernment with each other. Really, really, for me, it's you never know what a person's going through. You never know what a person's going through. So, um, there you go, wake and bake. Yeah. And I be going through a lot of shit, and I still put that smile on my face, still get my wake and bake on. That's sometimes the only thing that feels better. That makes it all feel better, man. Like this shit be dreary. Like when I say nobody, man, you know, even even my mom, right? Your mom's supposed to be there for you and shit like that, man. I'm gonna keep it real. Um, I had a real fucked up relationship with my mom all my life. You know what I mean? All my life it was a fucked up relationship. Um, I believe it's due to the fact that, and that's where a lot of my issues stem from now, is family shit. You know what I mean? Family shit and just outside people really not understanding or giving a fuck. Maybe even participating. I don't fucking know. This world is designed something crazy. You know what I mean? This world could drive you crazy. You know what I mean? Especially when you have a lack of resources, a lack of empathy, a lack of help, a lack of grace and mercy. Like that's all, you know what I mean? We want sometimes. That's all we require. That's all we need. You know, that's what we looking for is grace and mercy. And I understand some people don't even understand when they getting grace and mercy. Some people don't even appreciate grace and mercy when it's slapping them in the fucking face. But me, I do. You know, whenever I'm receiving grace and mercy, because I got a saying, you know, how do we experience God's grace and mercy if not through each other? Because it's not like the Creator's here, you know, to say, hey, here goes grace and mercy. You know what I mean? The Creator works through people, the environment, this and that. You know what I mean? Grace and mercy is you being broke and $100 blowing down the street, and you finding that hundred, and now you can eat. That's grace and mercy. You know what I mean? Grace and mercy is um, when you're wrong, but you're apologetic for it. And it's not like when you're a child and you do something wrong and you get a slap on the hand and you sit in the corner. When you do something wrong as an adult, you could, you know, it's serious repercussions. You go to jail, you get your life taken. You could, a lot of things can happen behind, you know, shit, repercussions. So it's like, you know, grace and mercy comes from everywhere. And, you know, some people don't appreciate that. Some people don't appreciate the grace and mercy that's extended to them by the universe, by the creator, by, you know what I mean? I extend grace and mercy. I try to make it, I try to make it my thing. I try to make it my thing to consciously, you know, extend grace and mercy to somebody, you know what I mean? To each other. Because I'm not going to sit up there. Shit, okay. Yeah, let my tracks play too. I got this new tablet. As you can see, I got the little Sony speaker, John. T-Mobile, hey, look, why not play some music while I'm at it, right? But yeah, man, I try to consciously um extend grace and mercy to people, man. Not just for them, but for my sake as well. Because when you extend grace and mercy to others, you receive grace and mercy. You know what I mean? And people don't. I don't know if the people know what they be doing, or it's the whatever whatever spirit or energy or entity is using them at the moment understands what they're making them do when they're pushing your buttons. That's why I try to be wary about being around people, this and that, because it's like sometimes intentional. And I don't know whether it's like I don't know where it's coming from. You know what I mean? Because we walk in three realms at one time. So where's the bullshit coming from that I'm getting from wherever, right? Is it coming from the spiritual, the physical, or the mental? Is it my mind making these things up? Is it you physically just being a dick, or you know what I mean? You want to pursue, a conflict, right, in some sort, or is it spiritual? Because physically and mentally, you probably don't even know what's going on, but spiritually, your spirit is just telling you, hey, do this to that person, or don't like this person, or steal from that person, or talk bad about this person. You see what I'm saying? Where does that come from if it's not you, right? So I try to consciously be in the state of mind of the three monkeys, right? Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. I'm not trying to. That's it. When you're doing that, when you're not speaking no evil, hearing no evil, or seeing no evil, then you're cool. You know what I mean? You got to see it. You got to deal with these things because it's a part of the world. But I'm at a point where, you know, I refuse to put evil into the world. You know what I mean? I'm making a conscious decision not to put evil into the world. In fact, I make a conscious decision to extend grace and mercy to others as I would like grace and mercy extended to me. You know what I mean? For numerous reasons. I've been through a whole gamut of things. And, I'm sitting up here, I try to speak adequately and everything. But for real, keeping 100, my family did this shit. You know what I mean? My family, my environment, people who I called friends at one point in my life. You know, people who to this day click the fucking like button sometimes when they see my shit or something like that, and I know it's not really a like, you know what I mean? It's not really a like. It's just I don't know what the fuck it is to make me think you still fuck with me or something. So maybe one day I could, I mean, we could all meet somewhere and not try to buddy it up. I can't. After you find out people were involved with certain shit in your life, you can't ever be cool with them people again. And I've been taking this framing or farming fatherhood program, well, classes, courses, and one thing it taught me is that men can't be friends. Men can't be friends. I can't be your friend. I can't be your friend because it's always going to be something about men, right? It's just a nature thing. It's a up and down type of thing. It's going to always be a thing where you're going to try to either be over top of me or I'm going to try to be over top of you, or alpha beta type shit or whatever. I'm nomadic, but is that type of thing, and it's men are just divisive. Men are divisive. At one point in time, it's going to come a point in time where you two aren't going to see eye to eye. You know what I mean? Men just can't be friends. Without the proper understanding, without the proper respect, men can't really be friends. I can't know you for 2 months and expect to get trust from you, or you know what I mean. Yeah, there will be friendly things done for each other, you know what I mean, to gain that, relationship or whatever, to solidify. But it's like men can't be fucking friends and really Dude, women can't be your fucking friend. I mean, it's crazy because women can be your friend, but it's like, man, everybody's playing games out here nowadays. I mean, men can't be friends because of nature reasons, natural reasons. Now, men and women have to be friends for natural reasons as well. But the dynamic with a woman is so much more intricate and complicated because women are woven into our very existence. So we have to be friends with women. We have to, you know what I mean? That's why I don't understand the whole, I ain't even gonna touch on it because, yeah, I ain't big enough to be, well, actually, I am. You know what I mean? The whole homosexual thing, like, I don't understand because I'm ahead of the sexual. You know what I mean? Some people aren't ahead of the sexuals. Some people are behind the sexuals or in the middle, in the midst of the sexuals. I'm ahead of the sexuals, always, have been. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna front, it was a little confusion when I was younger because, mom's doing her thing, 50, mom's kissing the girl, uh, growing up confused, mom, that type shit. So it's like, you go up a little like, huh? The fuck? But, I'm ahead of the sexuals. So I never understood that because a woman is just made for a man's consumption, um, lust, love, whatever you call it, life. You know what I mean? But you got some women who just play themselves out the game. Nowadays, the women dictate what the man, what the value of a man is, right? Because if you're not the ideal man in her eyes, then she don't want you. And that's all a man really wants is to be ideal in his woman's eyes, right? That's all a man really wants to be ideal for his queen, his woman, whomever he's trying to, build the life with. That's all they want. Yeah, man. They, he's been through a whole lot, man. No help from nowhere. This shit crazy. Because I'm thinking about it in hindsight. See, this is when you figure out things about your life. When you look in hindsight on your life, and you start realizing people roles um, that they, what did they do to be instrumental in your life? Did they really help, or were they just there? Um, some people are just there and they never really help. They don't care to help. They just want to watch a ship go down. A lot of times, and a lot of times it be the closest people, and you never realize it. You know, they get amongst they people and they, you know, talk shit about it, this and that. They think it's a game. They think it's fun. Think it's okay, right? That's where society is going, right? That's where we at. That shit that makes me angry. You know what I mean? Where grown ass people um just don't do grown shit, man. Like I'm a childish ass dude, right? I'm sitting up here dressed like childish Gambino today, right? Well, I'm dressed like me, but yeah, I see a little bit of his shit, right? But it's like I still do grown up shit. When my children need something or want something, I try to be there, and if I can't be there, it hurts. You know, um, Throughout everything I've been dealing with, I've been doing grown up shit. I might not have been in the best place and might not have always made the best decisions, but I always tried to, you know, keep my head on straight, keep my chin up, and move forward, man, and make my next move my best move per se. And yeah, yeah, that's called adultism, right? That's what we supposed to do. It's hard to do when you don't got no fucking help, though. Let me tell you that. Working up from the bottom, motherfuckers not liking you with If you've seen the messages that I received from my mother on my phone, mm, it's enough to break any man's fucking spirit. I grew up in abuse. You know what I mean? I grew up in abuse. I grew up in abuse. I grew up being taught the wrong things, right? I grew up in a lot of bullshit, not of my choice, not of my making, because I'm just a child. Like, you know what I mean? We learn from our environment, from our peers and our parents, right? It's just sad. It's just sad. That's why I just try to set a better example for mine. You know what I mean? I'm hurt. I can't lie about that shit. I ain't had nobody to support me through my grandmother's death. You know what I mean? I ain't had nobody there for me. I couldn't even cry at the funeral. You know what I mean? And it seems like back to back when shit happens in my life, everybody just pushed to the side, like, oh no, Mark's gonna be okay. This motherfucker, he cool. And everybody just keep life just continue to goes on and still gotta go to work, still gotta do my normal shit, still gotta I never had time for a nervous breakdown. I never had time for this, for that, for I never had time to really process emotions, grieve properly. Grieving is a very important piece, man. You got to be able to grieve. You got to be afforded the time to grieve. You know what I mean? You got to be afforded a lot of things in life, man. You got to be just afforded someone to be there for you, like you're there for other people. See, a lot of us forget to be there for ourselves, man. We're so busy being there for others that we forget to be there for ourselves a lot of time. You know, that's why you know, it's fucked up. But be honest, I'm not going to be there for anybody anymore, man. You know, I'm not. I say that, but I'm a nice person. Of course, if I can, help out without hurting myself, I'm going to help out. But at the same time, the only ones I got any real like time to have a conversation with or teach some life lessons or things like that are my children. Eh, that's it. That's it. Cause all y'all doing is picking people brains and shit. All you're doing is hanging around, having stupid ass conversations with people that's not even productive. I don't want to talk to you. My mind is somewhere else. Then you come around talking some dumb shit. I lose my train of thought. Now I done lost an idea that could have been something great. That not could have been that is something great. Somebody else using that idea. I just lost it because you wanted to talk to me about shit that don't even matter. Frivolous shit. I tell people that all the time. If you ever really sat down and had a conversation with me, right? I tell people like everybody you worried about what's going on here in this environment. You worried about I worry about the things that I worry about is so far past what you're worried about that me and you like I can't even really have a conversation with you because what you worry about is just bullshit. Like it's nothing. You worry about what this nigga doing, what that bitch doing, and what's going on at the club and this, that, and the sneakers and oh shit, did you see Cardi? Like I don't worry about that type of shit. I don't look for people drama and shit. When it happens and I notice it, I laugh. I'm amused by it. Yeah, who wouldn't be? But at the same time, that's not on my mind. I don't want you to come and just tell, oh, yo, remember the joint? I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about your dumbass stories. I don't even much care to greet motherfuckers. I really don't. I mean, being honest, I only do it, because I make eye contact. I greet. You know what I mean? But sometimes nowadays, it's like you'll see a motherfucker and you know they see you, and you'll try to greet them. Nothing. It's like fuck you too. You know what I mean? I don't get it, man. I mean, I get it. I'm saying I don't get it. I just don't like it. You know, I don't like it. People are so, you know what I mean? We're a world out here, man. I could talk about it, but y'all gotta live it with me. Shit, you motherfuckers know more than what I'm saying. Shit. I was gonna play some different music, somebody else's music. And this is my podcast, God Concept Podcast. And I don't want to be on my podcast listening to anybody else's music, and then I wind up getting sued or some dumb shit like that for a podcast, and I'm not really even getting paid to do at the moment, right? So don't get me wrong, it's paying me. It's giving me peace of mind and giving me something to do and everything. But at the same time, it's not like, you know, I can't afford to get fined for playing somebody's song on here, and I'm not making enough money off the podcast to pay the fine that I'm receiving from the podcast. So I just rather play my little jams. Got some jams. My studio quality gonna go up too because I'm building my new foundation, building everything back up. And that's another thing I was talking about too. Nobody helps. You know how many niggas I know who had studios, who could do this, who could do that. Never once. Oh, I'm messing up my setup. Never once tried to help me out. Never once. Always wanted me to there to help out something from them. You know what I mean? Something in their world. Pick them up. Niggas be broke as shit, never had cars and shit like that. They always, yo, come pick me up, bro. Yo, come pick. But niggas never want to put their hand out and help nobody else out. Philly niggas, all Philly niggas. Grimy ass, dirty, bummy ass Philly niggas, man. They'll look fly and all that shit. They'll try to appeal to your eyes. They'll try to be nice and all that, but behind, motherfuckers grimy as shit. If it's not if it's not you working on your thing, ain't nobody trying to help. Unless you connected, unless you clicked up, unless you figured that shit out. Maybe, for a long time I thought that I had a black ball drawn on my name or something, because it was nothing I nothing I did would ever amount. It's like every time I'm trying to sit up there and build with somebody or do this or do that, it's just relationship wise. Even when I started to create music and podcasts, it's like every time I would create something that was worth anything, something would happen and fuck up what I'm trying to fuck up my life, like personally. Like if I made a nice song, it'd be like, all right, yeah, you got a nice song, but now you losing your house, or this person's doing this, or now this is going on, and you like, what the fuck? Like I can't just have it like a smooth selling, like you know what I mean? Then it seemed like when once you know you're able to put that work in to make something quality, right? Now it's the thing where while you're trying to make this quality thing, you getting interrupted and bothered by every fucking body. And people just be thinking you tripping or whatever, right? But you're not tripping. It's an energy that moves through everything. And that energy is not always good. And I understand that now. Sometimes that energy is working against what you trying to get done. So you sitting up there trying to become you're trying to you're trying to achieve the life that the creator intended you to have, right? Or that you want for yourself. Either way, it's obtainable, right? If you can fathom it, it's obtainable. And if you want it, if you put the work in, it's obtainable, right? Period. Point blank fucking period. But you got an energy out there that even works through you, through me, through everything that's opposed to where you're trying to go. That's the evil. That's that Luciferian spirit. And it's like That shit works through everything, everybody. That should have worked through your children sometimes. That should have worked through your wife. That should have worked through your husband. That should have worked through your mom, your dad, your fucking sister, your brother, your best friend, this one, that one. That motherfucker will work on you from anybody. And you got to be wary of that. You got to be ready for that. Because you see it from coming from anywhere. And the thing about it is, okay, you have these feelings, right? And if you act on those feelings, right, you could wind up hurting somebody or hurting yourself. Now you in jail. You dead, you in jail, you your life you threw your life away, and now you never could get back on the path of what you were supposed to ultimately do with your life. So who wins? Who wins? The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing that he never existed or he don't exist. But he exists. He's very real. In this flesh, in you and me. The creator is with is what is the creator is what's within us. That soul, that spirit, this body, this flesh, this vessel. This is the devil. This is the devil. You know, some people is more attached to it than others. You know what I mean? Some people could let their soul speak and transcend um, with any evil or negative entity that's there naturally, right? But some just can't. Some can't. Some feed into that. Some feed into the desires of the flesh. And yeah, we all feed in that sometimes. We all like to drink, smoke, fuck, this, that. But some people feed in to the point where they can't pull out. You know what I mean? They all the way in. They all the way in that demonic fleshly shit. You know what I mean? That whatever it is, they let it consume. They let it consume their mind, their heart, their fucking soul. Now they just gone. Some people you can look at them and tell that they're possessed. I looked at a woman for a long time, and in hindsight, I can see now that that woman is fucking possessed. Something possessed that woman. That woman dealt with something. That woman dealt with something, and I had to deal with that. I had to bear the blunt of a lot of shit that she had to deal with. And I'm not saying that raising me was any walk in the park by any means at all. Because raising me, shit, I was always a good kid. That's one thing I can say. I was always a great kid. I never did no wrong shit. Anything I was very impressionable and things like that. I was a bit mischievous. You know what I mean? What's that? You know, it's like, you know, yeah. You can see the flipping people. Be wary of that because you can see when something change in a person, whether that's your parents, brother, sister, whether that's grandparents, whomever. You can see it. Pay attention to it. Shit, pay attention to it in your children. Some of these kids snap out and kill their motherfucking parents. Some of these kids do that shit. Yeah, listen, I'm one of the motherfuckers. I may have thought the shit. I may have thought some crazy shit. I may have said some crazy shit. But I'm not going to pick up the joint and just, like, that's not me. Only way I'm killing somebody if they try to kill me and all that shit. But you got some, some people that aren't mentally stable that just does what they think. And they'll think that shit and they'll actually do it. You got to be careful, man, with partners, with people that you sleeping with, people you letting close to you. You got to be careful with your children, because these motherfucking kids will kill you. You got to be careful with your parents, because these parents nowadays, they getting their kids the fuck up out of there because they don't like the dad and all that shit. I dealt with all that type of shit, man. I dealt with all that type of shit. I've had it from every avenue. You see what I'm saying? I had it from every avenue, man. It's just a lot of shit. been wrong for a long time, and now I'm getting a chance to speak on it and talk about it on my own platform. And it's like it's fucked up because when I try to express myself or talk about it in different things, nobody want to hear it. It's like it's not that nobody wants to hear it, but it's like they try to suppress it because I guess somebody don't want my story to get out there. That's the only thing I could think of. Like somebody don't want my story to get out there. Like somebody just I don't know. I just don't get it. And I don't really got time to make a motherfucker understand what I go through in my life. Like I don't got time to and that's a lot of times what I deal with. It's like, okay, you want to be cool with me. I want to be friends too, right? But it's like I can't be cool with you because I already done been through everything. Like I've been through like shit that just dictates that I can't be cool with anybody. Like I could be cool, we could be cordial and shit like that. We could, you know what I mean? But I can't really trust because it's not even that I have trust issues now. It's just that I can't trust nobody because of the shit that I've been through. What do you do with that? Yeah, yeah. And that's where you get to at a certain point in your life. You just get to the point where you're like, how can I really trust anybody? Do I? You know what I mean? Yeah. You get past that. The older you get, the more you grow, you get past that. You develop your own thing, your own style of living. Yeah. Podcast is about done anyway. Ah, I digress. How you doing? Right. All right. Yeah, but yeah, mainly that. This has been a great episode. Otherwise, man, this has been a great episode all the way through. I appreciate everybody for watching, checking me out, and just giving me the time to talk and um, yeah, processing. It's like therapeutic for me just to sit down, be able to talk about these things because I'm sure that a lot of other everybody experiencing this shit that I experienced. Like I'm not the only one out here dealing with things of this nature, whether they realize it or not. Um, but yeah, I just appreciate talking through it, being able to process all of this and articulate what I'm going through. And look, I got my tablet in my hand. Be sure for be looking out for more projects, man. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make all this shit work in tandem. The phone, the tablet, and books. Got Jenga blocks over there. And listen, trying to make everything work in tandem together. I like this funky ass bag too. It's my bitch. Ah, but yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for supporting the content. I put out a vape review yesterday. Go check that out. Go check out the book. Check out some of the music that's playing right now. You'll hear it throughout the whole episode. Uh, yeah, man. My name's Mr. Pagan, and this has been another episode of God Concept Podcast. I want to see if let me see something. He's button list. I don't know if it will. Oh no, it turned up the music. All right, well look, I'm trying to be fancy. I got this new tripod with this little button and shit like that. So I'm trying to get everything working properly. But yeah, thank you for joining me again for another episode of God Concept Podcast, where I'm your host, Mr. Pagan, and you've been great. Peace.